The Kentucky clerk, who has been jailed for 5 days for refusing to issue same-sex marriage licenses, has been released from jail. Jerika Duncan is outside of the courthouse in Kentucky, and she is with us on the phone right now. Jerika, what do we know so far? What's the latest here?
Well, right now we're actually at the county detention center here in Grayson, Kentucky, about 45 miles away from where Kim Davis is from in Moorhead. We just spoke to the attorney, the lead attorney for Kim Davis, as he walked into the jail. Obviously, we couldn't keep walking with him, but he told us that a judge entered an order and that his office had just received notice that Kim Davis is going to be released today. He really couldn't go into detail. He said he was just learning this information. Again, there's a rally expected to get underway at 3 o'clock with GOP presidential candidate Mike Huckabee and GOP presidential candidate Ted Cruz was expected to meet with her today. I'm watching right now Joe Davis actually on his way into the jail, it looks like. He's being escorted by some sheriff's deputies. I don't know if that means we're getting closer to actually seeing Kim Davis out here. Interestingly enough, her attorney even mentioned that, hey, she might be a part of this rally. Over the last few days, there have been several rallies in support of Kim Davis in front of the Carter County Detention Center where she is being held. This would have been her 6th day in jail. But again, if what the attorneys are telling us is correct and accurate, she could, in fact, walk out of here a free woman today. There are still a lot of questions to be answered. She has been at the center of a controversy involving whether or not she has the right not to sign marriage licenses for same-sex couples. Her solution, according to the attorneys, is for the legislature or Kentucky lawmakers or even the governor to step in and change the law so that same-sex couples could get their marriage license, but she said she doesn't want to be on it, and she doesn't want to have the authority to sign it. Right now, that is her position. In order for these marriage licenses to be valid, at least according to her attorneys, they need her signature. But ever since all of this started, the judge said that the deputy clerks would then be taking over and signing those marriage licenses in her absence. Again, this would have been her 6th day in jail. Again, I'm watching her husband right now talking to a sheriff's deputy. He's not inside the jail. They have taken him, though, into, it looks like some sort of trailer. They're going to be talking to him there. So it looks as though there are movements happening in which Kim Davis might be released. According to her attorneys, that's what we're hearing. That's what they're reporting. We are standing by and waiting for her attorneys to come out of the jail and give us the very latest. Meanwhile, there are hundreds of people gathered and preparing for this 3 o'clock rally.
Yeah, I'm curious about the rally. I know we're talking about a pretty small town. In fact, I heard that they closed down the schools to prepare for this rally. Who makes up this group? Who's down there with the flags waving?
This is the religious community. You know, they say they follow the word, they follow the Bible, and it's about religious freedom. So it's made up of people in this community who said they stand by Kim Davis and her Christianity beliefs. There's about 300 people or so here. I'm actually being told to move, so you're going to hear the speakers from the music. So just bear with me here. I walk away from that. But people are crowded right in front. There's a stage set up. There was a choir from the Baptist or Pleasant View Baptist Church. I spoke to someone as they were getting off the bus, and they explained that they drove 4 hours to be here. So people are all from all around the country, really. I've met people from North Carolina, from Kentucky, from Ohio. There was a gentleman standing with a sign saying, "New York City stands behind you, Kim." So it's a very, young, old, black, white, all kinds of people here to support her and believe that what she is doing is the right position to take in terms of, sitting here in jail over the last 6 days because she has not agreed with that court order to sign her name off on those marriage licenses as a county clerk.
I presume that the crowd has now learned that Kim Davis has been released or is being released.
I think word is still somewhat spreading. We were definitely one of the first to jump on that. The attorney, Harry Meehat, he's one of the attorneys for Kim Davis, and he told us, oh, my God, I just got this notification, literally as he was looking at his phone, and then word started to spread, and then they started to make their way toward the jail. So I don't know that, the general public here knows that there's a chance she will be released. There has not been an announcement made. There haven't been cheers or anything like that. Folks are just kind of standing by. Some, I assume, are thinking that they're just going to be a part of a regular rally, not knowing that this news is breaking right now.
Right. Jerika, stand by. I just want to bring in CBS News Justice reporter Paula Ree, who is also on the phone. Paula, you can hear me?
Yes, I can.
So let's talk a little bit about the law here and remind people what occurred that allowed them to put Kim Davis behind bars to begin with.
Well, Kim Davis doesn't actually have to issue these marriage licenses. The law allows you to sort of make exceptions to certain tasks based on your religious beliefs. But what Kim Davis did is not only did she not want to do it, she didn't want any of her deputies to do it either. So she wouldn't allow anyone in her office to issue licenses to same-sex couples. And she argued that because if a deputy gave a license, her signature would be on it. And in that, she was complicit in issuing the license and condoning this marriage. So she kind of went one step beyond what the law recognizes as a reasonable exception. Mm-hmm. So that's how she wound up in jail. The judge said, look, you don't have to issue them, but you can't prevent everyone from issuing them. She didn't like that order, and the judge didn't like that she wouldn't comply, so that's how she wound up in jail. And Anne-Marie, it's really unusual for contempt to wind up in jail. Usually they just fine you to be coercive. But here the judge said, look, if I fine you, your supporters are going to pay it. It's going to have no impact on you, so I'm sending you to jail. But today we see she gets out.
So then I think it's safe to presume that her religious convictions have not changed, so why is she getting out?
Exactly. She's getting out. The judge is letting her out, but he's saying, look, I'm going to let you out, but 5 of your deputies have agreed to issue these same-sex marriage licenses. Today, the judge received a status report from the couples who sued, who were seeking these licenses, saying, hey, how'd it go? They all said that they were able to get their licenses, so the judge can see that this office is complying with its responsibilities. He says, hey, Kim, you can get out, you can go back to work, but you cannot interfere with your deputies issuing these licenses. Let's see how that goes.
So then you got to wonder, I mean, she's going to go back to work, I presume. I mean, we don't know. We'll hear from her hopefully later, or at least her attorneys. But she leaves. She goes back to work. Then what happens? I mean, are there any stipulations to ensure that she doesn't go back to saying, listen, I don't want to put my signature on these, and I don't want other people to as well?
The whole issue is how they're going to work out her signature. Because her signature at one point was on these. That's why she objected. Then they discussed doing automated signatures. And now in the status report, they're saying that her signature has been removed. So there is this issue of they need to find a way to comply with the laws of the state of Kentucky, make sure it's a valid license, but make sure her signature is not on there. Now, even if they resolve that issue, she and her legal counsel need to make a decision as to whether or not she is going to try in any way to prevent her deputies from issuing these licenses. Because many people have said, she's being persecuted because of her religious beliefs. And I think under the law, she is actually granted a lot of protection. She doesn't actually have to issue these licenses. She can't prevent everyone in her office from issuing them. So it just depends going forward whether or not she complies with the judge's order. If she doesn't, if she tries to interfere, odds are she's going to wind up back in jail.
Looks like we're going to be seeing a lot of legal acrobatics to get around this awkward situation. CBS News Justice reporter Paula Ree, thank you very much.